If you ever feel out of control around food, you're not alone, and you're in the right place to learn practical, no-nonsense information about why you binge and how to stop. Binge eating does not mean that something is wrong with you. It's a natural but primitive brain response that you can correct. If you're ready for change, sign up for the Brain Over Binge self-paced online course for less than $20 per month. And if you feel you need personalized support, we also offer one-on-one coaching and group coaching. To learn more, go to brainoverbinge.com/subscribe. And I hope you enjoy the show. Welcome to the Brain Over Binge podcast, where you learn a simple, brain-based approach to ending binge eating. I'm Katherine Hansen, and I'm glad to be back for another episode. For those of you who are new to the show and to the Brain Over Binge approach, I want to let you know that I have a free ebook that you can download to help you get started. It's called the Brain Over Binge Basics, and you can download it through the link in the show description or on the homepage of brainoverbinge.com. The ebook will help you understand the fundamentals of Brain Over Binge and also help you begin applying the concepts in your own life. Coach Julie is here again for today's show, and we're going to talk about something that may be coming up for you as you approach recovery. Do you ever think that you're too far gone to actually recover? Do you ever believe that it's too late for you to even bother stopping binge eating? These thoughts are very common and can keep you stuck in destructive patterns indefinitely. But you can learn to rise above these faulty thoughts and start believing in your ability to stop binging no matter how long you've been struggling with it. And that's what Julie and I are going to help you with today. Hi, Julie. I'm so glad to have you here.
Hi, Catherine. It's so good to be back.
Yeah, we're going to talk about a topic today that I will let you actually introduce because I know it's something that you thought yourself in your own recovery. So yeah, just introduce the topic for everyone.
Yeah, I want to call it You're Not Too Far Gone and It's Never Too Late.
And it's so true, right? Like no matter how long you've been doing this, recovery is always possible.
Always possible. I mean, I'm living proof of that, right? 40 years I struggled with eating disordered behavior of one genre or another, all of them. And yet here I am fully recovered on the other side of it. And I, for sure, had many moments along the way where I did say things like, maybe I'm just too far gone and maybe it's too late for me. Maybe this is too deeply entrenched in my brain. And yet there was some small part of me that knew that wasn't true. And I just want everybody listening to know you are never too far gone and it is never too late because, neuroplasticity is with us for life and we get to change and evolve until we die.
Yeah, absolutely. And we've worked with people who've been doing this for 30, 40, even 50 years. I mean, I did the Recovery Stories episodes, which those are around episode 100 through 107. And many of the people on there have struggled with this for many, many years. And it just is such a great testament to the fact that our brains can change throughout life.
That's right. Exactly. And one of my favorite expressions is we are always spiraling up. So people have this expectation that, they're going to have an insight, they're going to get some information and that's it. They're cured, finished. It's over. And, I would love that to be the case for people that they discover the Brain Over Binge books and your podcast and your course. And they're like, I've got it. I am free. It's great. Everything's perfect. But the reality is it's not just like running up a staircase. It's not straight up. Generally speaking, it's a spiral, but we are always spiraling up. What I mean by that is everything that you learn along the way is with you. It makes you stronger. It makes you smarter. It gives you more resources. It shows you what works, what doesn't work, what you want to keep, what pieces of whatever you've tried actually resonate with you that you can use as you move forward.
Yeah, I love all of that. I think it's even intimidating for someone to get started if they feel like it's too late, I'm too far gone, I don't even know where to start. So maybe you could speak to that a little bit. What would you tell someone who just doesn't even know where to begin?
Right. So first of all, I think the first piece of it is to just recognize this fact, like I have neuroplasticity, I have a human brain, I can change at any moment. That's the first thing. So everyone listening, just remember that you have a human brain, which is amazing because human brains have neuroplasticity, and we can change. And that doesn't mean that it's easy and quick and not messy, but it is completely possible. So that's the first place to start, is to just give yourself the belief that I already have in you, that Catherine already has in you.
Yeah, for sure. And I also want to say that, yes, like it is possible for some people to learn these principles and immediately recognize all of their urges. We don't want to discourage anyone from stopping more abruptly, but just we want you to realize that if you do act on an urge, that doesn't mean, oh, it's too late, you're too far gone. That just means you need to correct your course a little bit and make adjustments and keep moving forward.
That's right. Absolutely. So that's the other thing, is that one round of eating or several days of binging, just a learning moment. And we just keep moving forward. We take the lesson, what went well, what didn't go well, what will I do differently? And we keep moving forward. And the other thing is, there's nothing to fix or change. We go right back to the very simple formula of eating adequately and expecting and allowing urges and celebrating. That's it. Like, that's all you need to do today, tomorrow, the next day, no matter what you ate for the last month, no matter what you ate yesterday, no matter what you ate even this morning. It's just go right back to the basic goals. You eat adequately so that you're able to expect and allow urges, and then you celebrate. And that's it. Especially if your eating yesterday was a little bit out of the way that you wanted it to be, all the better to notice, oh, but the next day, I just started going right back to eating foods I love that love me back and celebrating. And I feel so much better already. It's that simple.
Yeah, absolutely. Something I think is interesting is that you don't necessarily have to be struggling with this a long time to have these sort of thoughts like, it's too late, I'm too far gone. Like I only struggled with binging for 6 years, which at the time felt like an eternity. But looking back on it, it was like a relatively short phase of my life. But I feel like I had those thoughts. It's been 3 years already. There's no way I can turn it around now. So, you may have these thoughts after 6 months of binging.
Such a great point. I mean, no matter who I work with, no matter their age, I hear that line. This has nothing to do with a person's age or how long they've been struggling with this behavior. Not at all. That is such a great point. It's such a ubiquitous thought. I think it's actually just another part of the urge loop. It's just another way that the brain is like, well, why bother? You've been doing it so long. You'll never get over it anyway. This is just your burden to bear.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it is. Like, I love that you said it's just part of the urge loop, because the lower brain is always trying to get us to maintain habits. It thinks we need to binge to survive. And if that thought has gotten you to act in the past and binge, then it's going to keep replaying. So at this point, just consider that it is just a habitual thought and has nothing to do with your actual ability to overcome this.
That's so great. Yeah, exactly. It's just the brain trying to seek pleasure, avoid pain, and use as little effort as possible. And it records those thoughts that are those permission-giving thoughts that it knows have worked in the past to get you to do the habit. Because the brain's going to fight like hell to keep that habit alive. And so again, it's just calling out the fallacy, because the truth is that everyone listening also can pinpoint moments where they were able to not act on an urge to binge. Nobody spends 24 hours a day, 7 days a week binging. Like, even when the binging seems like it's going on and on and on and on, you can always pinpoint a moment. And so if you ever did it one time, even one time where you had an urge to binge and you didn't act on it and you let it move through you, if you did it once, then you can do it again.
I 100% agree with that. And over time, as you don't act on more and more urges, as you dismiss them, as I say, Julie likes to say, expect and allow, and whatever term works for you, that's wonderful. And the more times you do that and you're successful, the more confidence you'll get. And then when you hear that thought, oh, it's too late, I'm too far gone, you'll have like hard evidence that you absolutely can do this.
Right. And to everyone who's had that thought on repeat and then finds that they're binging after or stay in binging, now oh, okay, that's just my brain spitting that thought out. It's a thought loop. It's on repeat. It's an old tape. And now I'm going to recognize that as another chance to change my brain. There my brain goes again, trying to get me to do the habit, but no, I'm onto my brain and right back to eating adequately and allowing that urge to move through me and then celebrating.
Yeah, totally. It's like, to prove to yourself that you're not too far gone and it's not too late, you have to dismiss the thought that says that.
Exactly.
I'm sure this is something you see a lot of in the group and in coaching. Can you give some additional thoughts, that you also tell your clients?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think I've mentioned a lot of them, but what I will say is it's this noticing and naming, oh, this isn't a unique thought. Like I'm hearing many people in the group having the same thought, or many people, in the forum are writing the same thought, and then noticing, oh, I'm not alone. Other people have this same thought too, just like people have the thought, I'll start tomorrow, or, I've already blown it. It goes right in that bucket. And so that really takes the legitimacy out of the thought. And then it kind of just evaporates, because when you hear it, you're like, that's not true. Nobody's too far gone. And if Julie can change after 40 years, anybody can change. And if one person can do it, anybody can do it. And so it's just like popping that, that balloon, if you will, because that thought, it's just not true.
Yeah, that's a really great example about how people notice in the group, like if they're all having the same thought or a very similar thought, like maybe it's not personal. Maybe it's just how the brain works.
Exactly. And that is the beauty of group coaching, is that in community, we start to see, oh, I'm not alone. Other people have these thoughts too. And other people have these thoughts and don't take them seriously. And other people have these thoughts, don't take them seriously, and are able to follow the goals for Brain Over Binge, and they're healing. So then I can too.
Yeah, for sure. And also, I'm sure in the group, like if one member says that, oh, it's too late, I'm too far gone, every other member, of course, doesn't believe that. They absolutely believe in each member. It's just that we tell ourselves these things that we would never tell someone else. So it's great to have that encouragement from everyone else, really kind of countering that thought.
That's right. Exactly.
Well, thank you so much, Julie. I think this is really helpful. I hope that everyone out there who has this thought come up, while they're having urges or anytime while you're trying to end the habit, I hope this really helps you recognize it and then to stop believing it.
Yeah, me too. Because again, we are never too far gone, and it's never too late, and we are always spiraling up. So to everybody listening, just recognize that it's the truth.
Absolutely. And thank you so much for joining me today.
My pleasure, Catherine. Thanks for having me.
If you want an opportunity to get to know Julie, ask her questions, and learn more about how coaching can support you in your recovery, you can join her on Saturday for a free call. So if you're listening at the time this episode is released, that's this Saturday, March 25th, and the call is from 2 p.m. until 2:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Julie is so encouraging and enthusiastic and believes in the potential for each person to make amazing changes in their life. I hope you will join her for inspiration, guidance, and to see if coaching could be a good fit for you as you stop binging and develop a healthier relationship with food. The free call will be on Zoom, and I've put a link to join the call in the show description, so you can just click on it at the time of the call this Saturday at 2 p.m. Eastern Time. I know that you'll find the call very helpful and motivating. You can also learn more and sign up for the Brain Over Binge group at brainoverbinge.com/group, and learn more about one-on-one coaching at brainoverbinge.com/1, the word one, -on-1-coaching. And those links are also in the show description. I really appreciate you being here today, and I hope you took away some valuable ideas and that you stop believing that you're too far gone or that it's too late for you to recover, because that is never true. You can absolutely do this, and no matter where you are right now, I want to encourage you and remind you that you have the power to change your brain and live a binge-free life. The Brain Over Binge podcast is produced and recorded by Brain Over Binge Recovery Coaching, LLC. All work is copyrighted by Brain Over Binge Recovery Coaching, LLC, and all rights are reserved. As a disclaimer, the hosts of the Brain Over Binge podcast are not professional counselors or licensed healthcare providers, and this podcast is not a substitute for medical advice or any form of professional therapy. Eating disorders can have serious health consequences, and you are strongly advised to seek medical attention for matters relating to your health. Please get help when you need it, and good luck on your journey. Need more help? You can find all of our current and upcoming options for support at brainoverbinge.com.